This is the all-new MagSafe battery pack from Apple, a wireless power bank that leverages the MagSafe tech in the iPhone 12 series, allowing it to just snap onto the back of the iPhone and charge it automatically. Now, we've seen MagSafe power banks before, but unlike those third-party solutions, this official battery pack is not only better integrated, but it actually unlocks a hidden feature inside of the iPhone 12. We'll talk about that more in a bit, but first, let's finish up with the unboxing, which won't really take that long since all you get outside of the battery pack is your typical documentation minus the Apple stickers. There's no power brick included, and this time you don't even get a Lightning to USB-C cable. But here it is. It's pretty small. On the front, you have nothing but an Apple logo. On the back, you've got the MagSafe layout with this soft touch gray material here. And then at the bottom, you have the Lightning port along with an LED status indicator. There is no power button on this thing, and that's because this official battery pack will recognize when you've snapped it onto an iPhone and start charging it automatically. You can see how much juice the power pack has right on the iPhone itself with a widget, and the magnets on this thing are actually pretty strong. I mean, it does take a bit of pressure for it to lift off, but unfortunately, it doesn't really handle pressure from the side that well, with it sliding off pretty easily. In terms of the feel in your hand when you're using it, well, it's not too uncomfortable. In fact, it can be more comfortable when you're using it with the bigger iPhones since you have something smaller to grip on. But obviously, if you do this, you risk accidentally sliding the whole thing off. And while it's probably not intended for this, the battery pack technically still works when you use it sideways, making holding your phone in landscape, like when you're watching videos, way more comfortable to do. But again, there's always that risk of it sliding off, so I would only ever do this somewhere safe, like sitting on a couch or lying in bed. But of course, the big question here is how much of a charge can you actually get out of this thing? Well, when we tested it with an iPhone 12 that was completely dead, it was only enough to take it from 0 to 66%. So you're not going to get a full charge on any iPhone 12 model. You'll get even less so on the iPhone 12 Pro Max since that phone has a bigger battery to fill, but on the Mini you'll get a little bit more since that phone's battery is smaller. Now, in terms of the charge speed, that 0 to 66% charge on the regular iPhone 12 took 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is pretty slow. And that's because you're limited to just 5 watts of wireless charging when you're running off the battery pack alone. However, it does charge faster at up to 15 watts if you plug the battery pack into a 20 watt or higher power source, which means it matches the performance of the standard MagSafe charger, except that with this battery pack, you can pull it off the plug and take it with you. Now, about that hidden iPhone feature I was talking about earlier. You know how some Android phones have reverse wireless charging where you can use your phone to charge other devices? Well, apparently the iPhone 12s with MagSafe can do this as well, at least with this power pack, because when you plug the iPhone 12 into a charger while the battery bank is attached, the iPhone will actually reverse wireless charge the battery bank as well. This probably isn't the fastest way to do it, but it is useful for situations like when you need to plug in your phone to something like CarPlay and you want to charge both your phone and the battery pack at the same time. Hopefully this is a sign that Apple will enable this feature with MagSafe AirPods in the future, but in the meantime, since this charger is using the Qi standard, you can at least charge your AirPods or any other Qi compatible devices using the battery pack alone. It just won't clamp onto it if it doesn't have MagSafe. Last few things to note, the battery pack works just fine with the MagSafe cases we tested, but if you're trying to use it with a non-MagSafe case, you may run into issues with how well it's able to clamp on, and if you're using a leather MagSafe case, Apple says it may leave an imprint due to how strong the magnets are. So is it worth the $99? That depends on what you're expecting out of it. If you want a full charge out of the battery pack every time, you may be better off with a third-party solution that costs less than half as much. But if you want something a little bit slimmer and something that can double as just a wireless charger in addition to being a battery pack, thanks to the fact that the iPhone 12 can actually charge the pack itself, well, this MagSafe battery pack is not a bad option.